I have 10 amazing cheap fragrances that will blow you away. Any one of these, if you paid 2, 3, 4 times as much, I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. So we're going to go ahead and get into this awesome list. But before we do, remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Give the video a like if you like it, and let me know in the comments what are some cheapies that you think are amazing that you want to let us know about. The first one is a designer, and I've got a 50-50 mix of original fragrances and clones. This one right here is about a $25 pickup from Pepe Jeans. This is Pepe Jeans Celebrate. This one is really the fragrance that I am doing this video because of. I wore this yesterday, and it is so good. I don't have anything else like this in my collection. It opens up with this black currant that reminds me of something like blackberry or maybe raspberry, something like that. There's a good mix of spices. There's some pepper, there's some cinnamon, but then you move into some cacao, this chocolatey note, which reminds me of something like white chocolate. So like blackberry, white chocolate with some spice. Then you go down into the base. You've got some amber, you've got some patchouli, you've even got some birch. So something that almost reminds you of something like leather or maybe a little smokiness. It's so good. And again, it's somewhat unique. It is an awesome gourmand sweet fragrance. And for the price, it is unbelievable. Pepe Jeans Celebrate. This next one is a clone of Valentino Wo Intense. And I looked for a long time for an affordable clone of VUI, and I never found one. I know of 4 or 5, but I can never get any of you who say you have it to post a link in the comments. So please do that as we go along here. But this one's a good clone. $30 on Amazon. This one is called Valentino Wo Intense. And so this one is, of course, Valentino Wo Intense. It does have the iris note. It's got the sweetness, the leather, that little bit of vanillic or maybe even chocolatey kind of gourmand sweetness. I will tell you, this one has something a little more than the original. It's a bit of a woodiness. I don't know if it's a cedar or something like that. There's a woodiness that I get, 25% more or so than I do in the Valentino. But it's still an awesome clone, and I would say it's in that 85 to 90% close territory. This one, Valentino Wo Intense, is a great pickup. All right, this next one, this is a designer. This is one of my favorite summer fragrances, period. I don't know how they did it. They basically took a very rich, sweet, gourmand kind of winter fragrance and turned it into a fresh, very unique, awesome summer fragrance. This is Wo Casual Life by Ferragamo. And so this one has that kind of coffee, tiramisu, tonka bean kind of sweetness from Wo and Wo Signature, but they add a fresh violet leaf with some citrus that makes it this very unique, remarkable summer fragrance, Casual Life. And you can usually get this for about 35 bucks for 100 ml. It is awesome. One of the best summer fragrances out there as far as I'm concerned. Okay, this next one is a clone. I have kind of a clone comparison video that I haven't put out yet. I need to get it out in the next few days. This one is a clone of Yves Saint Laurent Tuxedo, and it's probably my favorite clone currently because of the price and because of the fragrance profile. This is Fragrance World's Suits. And what I mean is my favorite clone of Tuxedo out of the ones that I have, and I have several. So this one gets that dark patchouli. It gets that sweet vanilla. It gets that black peppery spiciness. It's got that leathery vibe that I think maybe comes from some resins. I don't think this actually has leather, although it reminds me of leather. It's a gorgeous vanillic patchouli fragrance with some spice. If you know Tuxedo, you know right away what they're going for. This one's pretty close to the original. It's pretty inexpensive at about, upper 30s or something like that. And now it's finally available. For the last year, it's been about impossible to get. But now you can pick it up. Suits by Fragrance World. All right, this next one is another designer, an original. This one is like, you know, November, December, January in a bottle. It's this wonderful, warm, spicy kind of fragrance. It's got some tobacco, it's got some leather, it's got port wine, it's got a bunch of spices. This is Burberry London. And this one is kind of like Christmas and Thanksgiving, again, in a bottle. But really, anytime during the winter, this one's going to work for you. But keep in mind, there's a little bit of an old school vibe. There's something like sort of a classic fougere kind of heart mixed with, you know, extra spice and some sweetness. Very interesting fragrance that you can pick up for usually around $25. Okay, this next one is another clone, and this is a clone of one of my favorite fragrances, Mugler Amen, but this is a $10 clone you can get all day long anywhere, but the quality is not going to match the Mugler, obviously. But if you haven't tried this one, don't knock it. This brand, Cuba, is known for ultra cheapies. Some of them suck, some of them are good. This one is really good. Clone of Mugler Amen, although the quality is going to be noticeable. This is Cuba Prestige Classic. It's a clone of Amen, and you can smell the milk and honey vibe. You can smell the licorice vibe. You can smell that sort of mint aromatic kind of vibe with a touch of coffee. You get all of that in this clone, but it doesn't have the quality of the original, and side by side, you can definitely pick up on that. But for 10 bucks, Cuba Prestige Classic is just a no-brainer pickup. Okay, this is another designer. It's an original, and this is a tobacco fragrance you can get from a major designer house for $20 all day long. It's basically tobacco with some cardamom and some kind of fruity freshness in the opening. This is CK1 Shock. This is an awesome beginner tobacco fragrance. The tobacco it's almost like sort of a cherry pipe tobacco, but you mix in a little bit of spiciness and those other notes I talked about, as well as in the opening, that fruitiness will almost remind you of like a Monster energy drink. Some have said that's why they did this with Shock on the bottle, made it look like a Monster energy drink kind of. It's pretty unique. And if you like a cardamom spiced fragrance with some tobacco, then this one, you gotta have it in your collection. $20 at all the rack stores, and they pretty much always have it, at least in the Southeast US. Okay, we got another clone, and this one is a clone of Elysium. I probably have more clones of Raja Elysium than probably any other fragrance that I have clones of. I think this one has taken the top spot because of the price and the quality. This is FOMOS, a Fragheads Asylum. It's got that beautiful grassy vetiver with that burst of citrus, sweetness, and blackcurrant in the opening. It's got a touch of leather, a touch of vanilla as you start to dry down. It's got all of that, and this one is pretty well balanced. A lot of the clones of Elysium will have too much vetiver, or they'll have not enough vetiver and too much sweetness. I actually like the ones with a lot of sweetness. But this one's right down the middle like the original. So for less than $30, FOMO has done something magical here. I can't wait to wear it in the summer. A Fragheads Asylum. All right, we got another designer. This is from a house that I've been continually impressed by. I only have a few fragrances from DUNHILL, but I have loved each of them. And this is the first one I got. I think it's the best one. It is astonishing for around $30. This is DUNHILL Icon. I was actually wearing it the first half of today, and my son said, whatever you're wearing smells amazing. And it does. It smells like kind of a fizzy grape soda, but it's got some black pepper. And then as you go into the dry down, you've got some woods. You've got a touch of leather, I believe. It's unique. It's awesome. You know, something like raspberry soda or grape soda with some spice and then some woods and some dry notes. Absolutely love it. It's like the ultimate spring fall fragrance, but I've been wearing it this winter and I wore it all summer. It is amazing. Versatile, dress it up, dress it down. It's just a killer. All right, the last one. This one's another clone, and this one blew my head off. I couldn't believe it. This is a $32 clone of Dior Homme Parfum. This is another one from FOMO, Gary's Den Parfum. And these FOMO fragrances are extrait de parfum, so they're high oil concentrations. You can see when you spray it on, a lot of fragrance oil here. And this one's going to get you pretty close to DHP. It's got that lipsticky iris. It's got that oud rose combo. It's got that sweetness, you know, vanillic or maybe even chocolatey-esque sweetness all mixing together. It's definitely a floral fragrance, definitely, with a good bit of sweetness. But if you like DHP, pick this one up. I think it's around $32. Again, a no-brainer pickup. So here's been 10 fragrances that really blew me away. What you pay for them compared to what you get, the equation doesn't make sense at all. But let me know in the comments, what would you add to this list? Also, I'd appreciate it if you give the video a like, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. I promise to give you good content every few days. I'm Justin, and this is CH Sense.